What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Rob with another real review, and this time it's a Marvel show based off of split personality disorder and an Egyptian mythology? Moonknight. So Moonknight follows Stephen Grant, who's portrayed by Oscar Isaac. He's an odd individual with a dissociative identity disorder who finds himself trapped between different alternate identities, as well as an insidious plot involving Egyptian gods and supernatural forces. Now, Stephen has a nice, gentle personality, but for some reason, he always ends up in dangerous situations, and the show doesn't exactly explain how. Right away, that is. The dangerous situations I'm talking about is where that he is surrounded by 10 thugs trying to hurt him. And just as they're about to attack him, he passes out with the screen going black and then regains consciousness with those same thugs all on the ground lying next to him with his fists drenched in what I can assume is their blood. And now both me and Steven are confused as to what just happened. Here's my problem with this. This style of editing is cool and it worked well for the first few times. And then it kept happening throughout the series to the point where it bothered me because I wanted to see the action play out. I wanted to see how Steven would get out of these dangerous situations. I'm not sure if this decision was made to save money on the action sequences or create more of a mystery, but I will tell you what it did create. Frustration. Like initially, I was more invested in the mystery behind why this was happening rather than seeing the action scenes play out. But as the series unfolds the mystery, it kept doing these blackout scenes. And at some point, you have to give the audience a good payoff, especially when it matters the most. These blackout scenes reminded me of that Tom Cruise and Cameron Diaz movie, Night and Day, where whenever there was a big action sequence about to go down and Tom Cruise is about to kick some ass, the camera changes to Cameron Diaz's point of view, and for some reason, she would pass out, with the camera now fading to black. And then she regains consciousness after all the action is done. And the story would just continue from there. They repeated this style throughout the movie, and I hated it. So the first time they did that blackout scene in this show, I was hoping they wouldn't overdo it. And sadly, they do it one too many times. However, when they do decide to show us action sequences, they're pretty good. The fight scenes are entertaining and well done, and the fact that there are good fight sequences with good lighting lets me know that the production team was confident in their fighting abilities. Also, the show does a good job in bringing awareness to mental health. For example, there's a scene earlier on in the series where Steven is in a storage room and the lights turn off and on, followed by something that appears to be chasing him. This scene is shot and directed so well that it helps the audience realize how fragile Steven's mind is. Even though this may be happening all in his head, we, as the audience, felt scared with him. The constant disturbance Steven goes through really puts into perspective and makes aware of what individuals with mental disorder may feel. The show also does a good job in dropping clues throughout the first episode to let the audience become aware that Steven has another personality which takes control of his body during some scenes. And this is the more violent and brutal personality of the two. But then, what's great is that you start wondering and second guessing yourself as to which is actually the real personality and which is the alternate. The highlight for me is Oscar Isaac's acting. Every episode he progressively impressed me with his acting ability. Oscar plays a character with a multiple identity disorder and does such a fantastic job at portraying the different personalities that it could be believable that these are actually different people who just look alike. There are scenes when Oscar is able to transition from his different personalities in a continuous shot, and not only does his accent change, but so does his facial expressions, like the placement of his eyebrows, to how his stance changes as per the personality. These small attention to details in acting should put Oscar in a category for an Emmy Award for this show. Ethan Hawke plays a convincing villain who truly believes in his ideology, and I'm not going to spoil it, but Ethan plays the character so well that it has you guessing whether you're on the right side or not. There's nothing scarier than a villain who believes what he is doing is for the good of humankind. Now, you might be wondering, where's the Egyptian aspect to all this? Well, the superhero Moonknight originates from the Egyptian mythology, and the show does a good job in giving us a background into the Egyptian gods and their purposes. One of the supposedly good gods is called Khonshu, and I think that he isn't your typically goody two-shoes type of god. He has a no-nonsense attitude and seems to be generally irritated by humans. But he needs a human avatar to do his bidding, and therefore picks Steven. Steven is someone who he can easily manipulate because of his disorder. Khonshu is the one who gives Steven his powers as a superhero Moon Knight to fight evil and bring justice to those who deserve. The design of Moon Knight looks pretty cool. The way the costume wraps around his body while giving him a hooded cape and glowing white eyes leaves the audience wanting more. Alright, so let's get real. This Marvel series has potential to be really good, especially considering the material it's drawing from, such as Egyptian mythology, superheroes, and multiple personality disorder. However, the 6 episodes, which are just 35 minutes long, isn't enough time to properly dive into and tell more of a detailed story about all these characters. I feel like this show could have been easily 8 to 10 episodes if properly fleshed out. For a show that's named after the superhero, Moon Knight is only able to make guest appearances in episodes just because there isn't enough time. Because there's just so much other story to be told. And if I'm honest, I'm still not clear as to what Moon Knight's powers are, as they seem to change to fit the plot every episode. Regardless of his choppy CGI, Moon Knight is definitely worth a watch for Oscar's acting alone. Oh yeah, and one more thing. Make sure to stay for the end credit scene after episode 6. Well, those are my thoughts on the TV series Moon Knight. Let me know your thoughts by leaving a comment in the comment section below. Remember to give thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more TV and movie reviews. Until next time, peace!